If you're an LA Kings fan and you're not mad right now, you should be. Because that was the game that the Kings had in the palm of their hands. And yes, there were a couple of questionable calls from the refs, but you absolutely do not let the Blackhawks take a game where you're up 3-1 and end it. Game was in their hands. So frustrating. Also, learn to play a first period. Seriously. It should not be that difficult. In theory, they're the same as the other two periods, so why can the Kings play a second period phenomenally and usually a third period, but the first period is like baffling to them? So it's 43 out of 67 games that the LA Kings have given up the first goal. That's 65%. 43 out of 67 games, guys. Like, that just makes my head hurt. That's a horrible statistic. They were 3 for 16 on the faceoffs, if you want another horrible statistic. And again, I know this is an afternoon game. Whatever. Learn to play. Learn to play in the first period. So, unsurprisingly, the Kings were down 1-0 by the end of it. Just weren't awake. I don't know. Maybe this is part of their strategy now, is to lull the other team into a false sense of security so that when the second and third happens, they can just blast out of the gate and be like, whoa, where'd that come from? Because it happens every game. And should the Kings make the playoffs, it's going to kick them in the ass. Okay. So, first period aside, the game was actually, first period included in this part, the game was shockingly and eerily similar in the first two periods to the game on Thursday. So on Thursday, they gave up 2 goals in the first period. Today, we give up 2 goals, but one of them is waved back. And it's honestly the weirdest goal, not goal thing I've kind of ever seen. So it's kind of a bouncing puck. Quick gets it in his glove. And either he thinks the whistle blows, and that's my impression because pretty much everybody except the Hawks player who ended up getting the goal kind of stopped playing. So either everybody thinks the whistle's blown and it hasn't, and he lets the puck out, or it bounces out, or something happens where the puck ends up literally bouncing onto the stick of a Hawks player who, of course, he's at the front of the net. So he bats it and it goes into the back. And Quick and everyone was like, wait, what just happened? Including everyone in Staples Center. So it is deemed a good goal. And the Kings are like, no. That was, no. If nothing else, that was goaltender interference. And for once, Toronto actually made a call that went our way, so that's exciting. So only 1-0 at the end of the first. But like I said, in the first period on Thursday, scored 2 goals. Technically, first period today scored 2 goals, even though one of them didn't count. Thursday, took a penalty 24 seconds into the first period. Today, 14 seconds into the second period, we take a penalty. That's a little weird. It's going to get weirder because after the penalty expired, the Kings then scored 3 unanswered goals. Jeff Carter almost had a shorthanded goal. And we ended the period with about a minute of a split power play. I could not have written this script if I tried. It's literally the exact same things happening for the whole first and second period. It's super creepy. Very, very weird. So the first goal is not Jeff Carter. Jeff Carter got 2 posts and drew a penalty this period. So it's not that he wasn't playing. He was so close to them. So close. This was his little baby boy, Tanner Pearson, on the breakaway. It's slightly concerning to me that Tanner and Tyler are doing so much better with Jeff around because they should be able to play without him. But it's still a good time of year for them to be picking their game back up. So Pearson makes 1. Game is tied. Within less than 2 minutes, and on Thursday it was like 2.5 minutes. So within a short span of time, the Kings score 2 goals in the second. This one is some beautiful, beautiful puck movement by the Kopitar-Brown Iafallo line. Absolutely stunning. Blackhawks are all out of position, and they're looking kind of slow. Honestly, they're not really the Hawks that we're used to playing against. Anyway, gorgeous puck moving, gets to the front of the net, and Iafallo is there to finish it off, but Martinez gets to it first, and goaltender out of position, Forsberg, has no shot of getting it. So it's 2-1. Thank you, Alec Martinez, and your beautiful little jazz hands. And unsurprisingly to anyone who's been watching Iafallo this season, or even specifically watching Iafallo in this game, he's the one that gets the third. It's a fantastic turnover. Absolutely gorgeous forecheck by Iafallo. There are about 3 Hawks, including Duncan Keith, around him. That doesn't matter. Iafallo's going to take that shot and make it. 3-1. 3-1. Things are all coming up. Kings. Everything's delightful. I literally, like I said, could not have written this script better if I tried. We go into the third period and we're like, dude, we got this. And that's where our problem started. Because unlike the game on Thursday, where we got 2 more goals and solidly commanded our lead, we gave up 3 unanswered goals. Got 3 unanswered goals in the second, gave up 3 unanswered goals in the third. And that is unacceptable on so many levels, not only against the Blackhawks, who are a team that is struggling, to say the least, this season. They lost 7-2 against the Sharks on Thursday. They took the first goal about 2 minutes in and then gave up 6 unanswered goals. This is not a team we should have lost against. This is not one of those games like Edmonton where you're going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, if only the call had gone our way like it should have. This is a game that the Kings had in the palm of their hands and lost it. And that's why I'm frustrated. Yes, the 2 calls, there were 2 power play goals that the Blackhawks got that probably should not have been penalties. They were very, very weak tripping calls. But the Kings were undisciplined and thought that they could just keep coasting on Jonathan Quick in the third period. It's very, very similar to like they did Thursday, only they didn't get those comeback goals after Jonathan Quick made the good saves. They were completely off. They were very sloppy, and they learned the hard way that you have to play 60 minutes of hockey. So the second goal, there's like 7 or 8 minutes left, maybe 9. But it's kind of enough. You're like, oh, 3-2. Oh, that's concerning. Probably shouldn't let them get back into this game any more than they already have. And that's when Drew Doughty takes the slashing penalty that perhaps wasn't a slash. And in and of itself, yeah, that sucks. But that's going to happen. And penalties, deserved or not, are going to happen. The Kings need to stay a little more disciplined, realize that the refs are going to be calling things like that, and adjust. They need to take this game back into their hands. And what does Drew Doughty do instead? Instead of showing the leadership that I would have expected from him or wanted from him, he starts yelling at the ref and gets another 2 minutes. So it's a 4-minute penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah, I wanted to yell at the ref too, but you can't. So we kill off the first 2 minutes, maybe 15 seconds, into the next one. Sure enough, Patrick Kane's doing his thing, and he doesn't get the goal, but he gets the first assist, and it's tied. And there's about 5 minutes left. And this game has been slipping away from the Kings slowly but surely for the first 15 minutes of it, and it's concerning, to say the least. We're lucky. We would have been lucky to make it out of the third period with to get to overtime with 1 point. Then Tanner Pearson, also, again, a weak slashing call, but something that the Kings needed to have control over. The game was theirs for the taking. Barely 15 seconds, I think, into this penalty. There's less than 2 minutes left on the clock. They leave Duncan Keith alone. You can't leave... Wait, was it Keith or Kane or Taves? It was Taves. Can't leave Taves. Like, what are you thinking? Leaving him alone? Just all there? It's stupid. It's stupid. 2 minutes left and 4-3. And there's no way the Kings are coming back from it. There is no miraculous comeback to this. They have absolutely conceded the game. And it's all their fault. I'm going to blame it a little bit on Drew, because that started the tide. That kind of turn. There were so many things in the third period that I just wanted to, like, scream at them. This is not This is not how you win hockey games. And if that is the mentality that they're going to bring into the next 16 or 17 or however many games we have left to play, then that 90% chance we had at getting in the playoffs before going into this game, that is going to drop significantly. This is not a game that they should have lost. It should have been an easy 2 points, and it's going to come back and bite them. So if you're not as angry as I am, sorry, that was a very, very depressing recap, but it was a very, very depressing game. And maybe we should stop the Tippecking, because I can't remember the last time that we won a game right before Tippecking. I'm kidding. Tippecking is a great cause, and I hope everyone had a fantastic time. If nothing else, the dogs were happy. But the Kings players were not, and they shouldn't be. So hopefully this game will be a lesson to them, and they continue to go on that upswing that they were having, that they kind of let this one go, learn from their mistakes, and move on. Our next game is Thursday, because nothing about our schedule makes a whole lot of sense this season. Whatever. They play on Thursday. I'm expecting a better team to come out.